Hey guys, I hope you're hungry. Welcome back to War Stories here on the Florence channel. My name is Jericho. Today I am joined by the Iceman.
Hello.
And we are here to discuss Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, which we just saw. We were going to be joined by Cyan Sentry, but she went to see her sister who just had a baby, so congratulations to them. That's all wonderful, but I'm sure she's going to be more sad that she missed this than possibly missing her niece being born.
Real inconvenient. Real inconvenient.
So I would say that there's like basically one or two scenes that are spoilery. So we'll leave that towards the end of our discussion, and we'll just start off with like general impressions. So what do you think of the movie?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, the first thing I do in this life, I don't want it to be ruining someone's plans. Okay, so anywho, Pirates. I loved it. I loved it a lot. Easily, way more than I loved the fourth one, and I really did like the fourth one.
Mm-hmm. So I really love the Pirates franchise. I remember I went to see the first one. I was like, yeah, what the hell? I'm gonna check it out, and was like blown away by how awesome it was. And then when I was in marching band in high school, we did a Pirates music halftime show my sophomore year, and I loved that. So I really like the series. And I also really like the fourth one, but this one was definitely superior. This is probably my favorite besides the first two. I think I probably liked it more than the third one as well. But that's hard to say. The second and the third one are really two halves of the same whole, so it's kind of hard to separate, one from the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that this one like tied up a lot of loose ends, and I like that it brought back, some familiar faces from the other movies. And like I would say that I'm aware that it was probably not like the best made movie ever. Like as far as the writing was pretty disjointed and didn't really flow very well. Like we were talking on our way back from the theater, how like it was almost like they had a list of the scenes they wanted to do, and then they didn't bother with any of the connective tissue between them. It was just okay, time for the next scene.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it just made it kind of choppy. And I also thought that the writing was not as good as the series has had in the past. Like the jokes were a lot cheaper. Like it's not as clever as some of the previous movies have been. But it got like a real emotional response out of me, and it was fun to watch. Like, I mean, that's all. I guess that's the difference between like liking a movie and like movie criticism. Is like, I mean, I liked it. It was fun. I'm glad I went to see it. It was worth my money, worth my time. Like, it's not cinema, but whatever. It was cool. It was a movie.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't know if the disjointedness is that's. I was saying I don't know if that's the writing or like the directing, maybe just some bad editing. I don't know. Seems like they had a lot of time to do it though. I mean they filmed it 2 years ago.
Right.
So they've had some time, but who knows? I'm not a movie maker.
I thought there were a lot of cool effects, especially Captain Salazar, our main our heel. So like he and his crew basically were made to look how they were when they died. So Salazar, like all his hair and his clothes were constantly looked like they were underwater because he drowns. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the other crew had a lot of cool effects too. Like part of their bodies were like blasted away, so they just didn't have it as the spook pirates.
They're ghosts.
Oh. And I guess another kind of critique is like, it did go back to the well again of like the bad guy has just this cannon fodder crew of like spooky monster pirates, which we've already seen in every other movie. Like we had the skeletons in the first one, and then the fishies in the second and third one, and then the zombies in Blackbeard's crew in the fourth one, and now we have ghosts. So like, I mean, it's fine. Like it's very important to the series for it to be like, like all the myths and legends of the sea and have all these different monsters and stuff, and that's fine. But it just kind of like when they're fighting aboard the ship, and we know that one of the sides are immortal, invulnerable ghosts. It's just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I will say, it did. The reason they were that way made sense. It did serve a purpose. Like they were killed in a place called the Devil's Triangle, which is that supposed to be the Bermuda Triangle?
I think maybe. I actually think it's somewhere different. Like it's not the same area of water. But I could be.
But just like based off of it, maybe.
Right. But I could be totally wrong. It's just another word for the same thing.
So it's like they were killed there, and that's why they were ghosts. So like it made sense. It wasn't just like, oh, we got here's creepy people.
We got ghosts. What are you gonna do?
Which I kind of felt like was the case in on Stranger Tides.
Yes. Yeah, they're just like, well, whatever. He's a zombie. Haven't had zombies yet.
Yeah.
The zombies are cool.
Exactly.
So, I guess at this point, you know, we've both given our positive, you know, definitely worth your time. Go check it out. It's not going to be the most amazing piece of cinema you've ever seen, but it's a fun movie, worth your time and money. So now we're going to move into more spoilery plot details. So they did bring back Orlando Bloom. He was in it like twice. So the first scene of the movie was his son, because his son wants to break the curse. And one thing we kind of thought was like, I don't know, a plot hole or whatever. So him having to be Davy Jones is like, I mean, I guess it's a curse because he can't go on land and all this, but he was all spooky looking, like Davy Jones's crew had been, which to me means that he was not doing the job, right? Like
yes.
that's they specifically say that in the third one, like, why is he all tentacly? Like, that's why. So, like, okay, it's a curse or whatever, but if he had just been doing the job, at least he wouldn't have to be a monster. So I thought that was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And he chose it too. Like, I guess it's a curse because he can't go back to land and he has to do the job and all that stuff, but he chose, he would have died otherwise.
Right. And he's not tentacly during in the post-credit scene of the third one where he comes back after 10 years for the first time.
Right.
So
what's going on here? Yeah, like, really the only assumption you can make is that he just wasn't doing the job right, so then he's a jerk. You gotta do the job. Comes with it. That's why you're not dead. And Keira Knightley was in it as well. She didn't have any lines at all, just at the very end. She was there. It was good to see. I'm glad. It would have been very unfulfilling for her to not be in it at all.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. They you know, they shared an embrace after all that time, and it just, I don't know, it made me feel. Mm-hmm. But I was telling Jericho last night, like, it would have been better if it had been because of something Will did that they were together again, and not just Will was off goofing around in the bottom of the sea and she was just sitting at home waiting to die, and then their son comes along and fixes everything, you know, like.
Right, or even something she did.
Yeah, even something she did, yeah.
Like they're back together, like, in spite of themselves.
Mm-hmm. But it's okay. I mean, it was still a very neat scene.
I liked, basically, you know, Salazar and his crew, and then the actor that played Faramir, David Wenham, I think it is. He was the surrogate for Cutler, Beckett, or Norrington. But I liked all the new characters. At the point I'm getting to, our new leads were Henry Turner, Will's son, and
Karina Smith.
Yes, Karina Smith. Who, and this is a big spoiler, so if you haven't seen the movie, I would not listen past this part. She actually, it transpires, is Barbossa's daughter. And I thought that was really cool too. It'd be so easy to make her Jack's daughter, but like Barbossa, like, it made more sense, and it was cool. Like she was trying to figure out what her ancestry meant, and he actually sacrifices himself for her towards the end of the movie. It was a really good scene. I don't know. I really I've always liked Barbossa a lot in these movies. I thought this was all really cool, and I liked her a lot more than I thought I would from the trailers.
Yeah, she's like she's an astronomer trying to a horologist, and that was very frowned upon back then. So she's like condemned as a witch by pretty much everybody she comes into contact with. But
just because she's smart and tries to learn and stuff. Yeah, so that was cool. And yeah, I like them as our new Will and Elizabeth. I like them quite a bit. So the whole time I was watching the movie, I knew, like, there's always like the last trailers did say, like, one last adventure and all, but, you know, it's a popular franchise. There's always the chance they're going to bring it back one more time. And as I was watching, I was like, you know what? this is really good. But it's sort of like Toy Story 3, where I am happy. I love the franchise. I want to see more of it, of course, but I'm okay to say goodbye to these characters. Like, they've had their adventure. Everything is like in a neat little bow now. Their children, like everybody's happy. Okay. But then they have the post-credits scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say until we get the post-credits scene, I've felt that way.
And for the first time in a pirate, I guess sort of after the first one, the monkey getting the coin kind of shows that like. Well, that's not how Barbossa came back, though.
Mm-mm.
So really the first time in a Pirates movie, the post-credit scene has plot hints for the next one, if indeed it comes to pass. And it had better now. So you wanna talk about that?
Yes, so post-credit scene comes along. Don't get up and leave during any movie during the credits, by the way.
Yeah, we were talking about this too. Like, do people just not know that that's a thing that exists? Every Pirates movie has had one. And then we go to X-Men, every X-Men movie has had one.
Yep. Every Marvel, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a Marvel movie and people got up and left.
Or like even if you weren't aware, like what do you think all these people are doing? I got a lot of respect for the work they put into it. I'm gonna watch their names, and that's good for you. But that's not why we get more movies.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, don't leave during any movie, ever. If you're unsure, get on your phone, Google search whatever movie you just saw, and then put post-credit scene.
Yep.
First thing that comes up will say if there is one or not.
Yep, that's what I do if I'm not sure. Or I like worst case scenario is you like listen to the music and indeed do watch their names in the credits because they just did a movie you paid to see and they deserve.
Yeah.
To have their name read.
Jerks. So anyway, all right. So we get the post-credit scene. We see Will and Elizabeth sleeping, and all of a sudden the door opens, and you hear thump, thump, thump of someone walking in. You see the person from behind, but you don't really see them. You see their shadow, and it's the silhouette of Davy Jones. Who died in the third, seemingly died in the third one.
Yeah, when his heart is stabbed by Will, and then he falls off the mainsail of the Flying Dutchman into the whirlpool. Like, yeah, he definitely seemed to be done for.
But then, so Will snaps his eyes open real quick, sits up, and sees that nothing's there. And you think, oh, it was just a dream. Even if it had been just a dream, it still would have been probably my favorite post-credit scene they've ever done, just because it was kind of scary. It was fun. And then he hugs Elizabeth, and they go back to sleep. And then the camera pans down to the floor, and you see some water and some broken barnacles, like seemingly from Davy Jones's body.
It was really there. He's back. Ow.
How indeed? What did our friends do by undoing every curse in the ocean? Which is what the whole point of the movie was, to find the trident of Poseidon and break every curse, every ocean-based curse there is.
So that way, Will doesn't have to do the job anymore. I guess nobody will be a Davy Jones. So the souls lost at sea are just lost forever. So that's bad.
The Dutchman must have a captain.
Yeah, I bet that's why. It is like. There can't just not be one. Like, you tried to get around it, and that brings him back.
And it's like he fell into the sea, which is where Calypso is at. Again, she can do whatever she wants. Like, I'm actually really not concerned with how they could bring him back to make it make sense in the story. Like, she's Calypso.
Right. Yep. Yeah,
literally
right.
Whatever she wants to do. So no, they have to do a sixth one. You can't not do that. You can't do that and not give us a sixth one. You can't. And unless this movie bombs, there's going to be a sixth one.
It probably won't. It's doing okay in the box office so far. It's not getting very good reviews at all, but it's doing okay. I think it did like $5 million for its preview on Thursday, which isn't bad. And it's destroying Baywatch because they're stupid and released Baywatch against the Pirates movie.
Ridiculous.
But it does super well in China. That's why they had Xiao Fang as a big character to make it do even better. Because the Chinese love the Chinese and pirates, apparently.
They do.
So it'll probably... I think that it'll do well. Maybe it'll be like a little while, and that would suck because like people might like not want to be involved anymore or whatever. But they're gonna be like, well, what the hell? It'll at least make its money back. They are expensive to make though. Like at World's End is to this day the most expensive movie ever made.
Heavens.
Like adjusting for inflation or whatever. So I guess, but I don't know. And the director said he wants to. The original plan was actually to shoot 2 back to back, so that makes sense that they had a specific plan of like where they're gonna go. But it is weird that Davy Jones could have like such a role over 2 long movies and then come back and then just get taken out again in one. Like, I wish like people loved it and it was like gonna do really well, and this was just like a soft reboot of the series, and we had like 2 or 3 more with Will and Henry and Karina and bouncing around. Maybe Jack.
Maybe Jack. I mean, that's fine.
He's real tired. The Jack Sparrow part, it made me laugh a lot. There are 2 scenes in particular of Jack's like slapstick nonsense that I like literally laughed out loud at, like that were good. But it's getting pretty tired. It's been a lot. Like he's been carrying the comedy of 5 movies now, being a goof.
I don't know, it would take away everything that Sparrow is, but like you said, it's tiring. So I'm just wondering if, like in the next one, strip him of all that.
Mm-hmm.
When a character gets tired, take away everything that he is, and have the journey be how he gets it all back.
Yeah, that's fine. I like it.
Somehow. Maybe he joins with Davy Jones. Just like, well, geez, all right.
More like Jackie Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, we did it. So that was Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell Me No Tales. High recommendation from both of us. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. And you shouldn't have listened this far into the review. Thank you to the Iceman for joining us. And I'll see you guys soon. How about you guys? But we're full.